and of course Instagram, and of course on my WhatsApp status. You would have seen already that what we want to talk about today, it's just one thing. It's about this paper, pen on paper, beyond the classroom. That is what I call it. But basically, I'm talking about contractual agreements and controversies. Yes, if you've been following the narrative recently, two cases from the entertainment industry about one about Cynthia Morgan and the other one about Mehdi. Yes, I'm not really going to focus on that, but I just want to reference these issues as one of what really led me to want to talk about this. Yeah, that is really the foundation for this discussion. But that is not the main reason I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this by sharing a personal experience as an individual when it gets to come to do with contract and putting pen to paper. And also another thing I want to talk about is so much about OAPs. I am an on-air personality myself, and I understand that there are so many individuals who trust us and listen to us, and people expect and even believe much of what we say, because people consider us to have been individuals who would have done due diligence on issues before bringing it to the public or before talking about it. So I'll be touching about this contract and agreement thing because I want to speak from the angle of OAPs who so much. Okay, Philo, greetings to you. I see you. Okay, guys, do not forget that I also want you to be part of this. I'll open up the link, share the link where you can join in, and let's just have a robust conversation. What I'm trying to do in this 30 minutes with Tweetwe, with me, it's I want to create an interactive platform where we can get to talk about issues, and you don't just listen to me talk, but you can as well be part of the program. But I don't want to create room for phone calls, so there is a link I will always share where you can just follow that link, and from there you can get to be part of the program. People will get to see you, and you get to see me myself, and they hear whatever you have to say just the same way they can hear me. So I'm going to share that link again so that for those who are interested, if you really want to be part of the program, then you can just follow the link. Okay, yeah, I have the link up there now for those who would like to join in. But what I'm just trying to say in essence is, based on the fact that when you listen to OAPs who have jumped on the issues about contracts, it will make you want to think that, oh yeah, the contract that OAPs, I'm talking about radio presenters and television presenters, that their own contract is so perfect. They live a perfect life, right? They are not under any contracts where they feel enslaved. But that is not the truth. I can tell you guys that there are so many OAPs out there who are slaves. But before I come to the discussion formally and go into this, and even share my personal experience, I have a message for you from my daughter. It's actually something we recorded to share for every children to listen. It's just a little message from her on Children's Day. So just enjoy. I'll be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fumilayo's house, and how are you today? My name is Fumilayo, and I wanted to wish you happy Children's Day everyone. And I wanted to go to the beach, but I can't go to the beach because that if the coronavirus is out there, I have to stay indoors. So I won't get to the coronavirus. And always remember to use your soap and water and wash your hands, and also use your hand sanitizer.
All right, that's a message, something we recorded from my daughter. That's to wish everyone out there happy Children's Day. As a former colleague, we always say OPJ. We say all of us are children. So Happy Children's Day to every one of us. But then, some of us don't turn adults already, so we we have the ability, and by law, we are permitted to take decision of our own will. And yeah, so we are adult. Yeah. So back to what I really want us to talk about, which is of course about pen on paper. This is something that is actually beyond the classroom. There are no ways we'll talk about contract without talking about education, literacy, and all of the rest. But there is one angle to it. No matter how educated you are, you cannot talk about contracts if you don't have people who understand the terms, the terminology in the contract. Because sometimes, even no matter the language, whether Yoruba, Hausa, or any language, you still need people to tell you that when these two words come together, it means something else, as we know. So, and that is what contract is about. So, but taking it from the angle about the controversies about contract, it's nothing new, especially talking about the entertainment business. It's nothing new for individuals to feel bad about the contract they signed to. Some people sign up contracts, and at the end of the day, they get to discover that, oh, I don't really want this. This is not the best for me. I could have gotten something better. But the key thing there is having someone to interpret that contract to make you really understand what the contract is about is one thing most of us not a really day patient to wait for. Because number one, which will now move me to talk about the entertainment industry, talking about radio, artists, recording business, and all the rest. Now, you want a job. You're a young man or an old man, you are out there looking for a job. And after you pass the interview phase, not forgetting that you are a beginner, you are not, most likely you are not really a pro. You just want a job. You want to do that for fun. Because if you look at most people go into music, they go into the business for fun. Aside the fact that they know they will make money, they want to do it for fun. Because if it's not a business, they will still do music. The same way for OAPs. If there is no money, they will still become broadcasters. Because that is what they want to do. So by the time when you don't pass the interview and everything, they can't bring contracts. Some will like, whether I read the contract or I not read that, I will sign up. So why I won't even read that? Some people will go ahead to sign the contract without reading. Others will go ahead to want to consult people to interpret the contract before signing. Now, at that stage, no matter the approach, whether you consult some individuals to interpret the contract for you, or you get to sign the contract voluntarily, one thing is certain. A time will come where you will no longer be comfortable with the terms of the contract. Because you now see yourself from the angle of contributing towards that business. You are no longer that individual that came years ago wanting help. So you've grown to understand the business, to understand how much your impact affects the income. So then there's usually need for renegotiation. Yeah. Before we I don't really want to focus on artists now. So there's usually room for renegotiation. But the thing that happens is that in most cases, you don't really get that opportunity to renegotiate your contract. Because this is what happened. Fame is very powerful. You are known already. Everybody knows you. And everyone knows you. And then you've gotten to that point in your life that you don't really rely on what you're supposed to get from the contract. Talking about OAPs now. So you have other things that you can do that will give you money. So you get to that point where you become so comfortable. Even when you approach management or your employer to say, let's renegotiate this contract. So what you get them to say to you at times is that they want to push back to say, no, we can't do this. We can't do what you're talking about. And renegotiating the contract gets to do with review of salary. And aside the review of salary, you also talk about the fact that you want better advantages, you want better share of whatever is coming in. And majority of the time, you don't get that. And even in some cases, the initial contract you signed to, that you signed up, which is about you get so thing and so in terms of salary, emoluments and all the rest. In most cases, you don't really get that. You know what happens? Because they get to even owe you your pay for months. You don't get your pay as at when due. They deny you some several other things, and you don't really get all the things that you think you get ordinarily. So now when I see OAPs who are in these conditions, some OAPs who have not really gotten paid for the past month, talking about how one artist is being stupid. Oh, how could you have signed up to such contracts? How come you can't even review your contract? Whereas those same OAPs, they sign to radio and televisions where they owe them salary for months. Some of them never, I don't want to mention radio stations or TV stations now. May not be like how they attack some people in particular, because it's like a general practice. So what you see is that the OAPs, they are tired, they are not comfortable, but then again, they can't speak out. Because if they speak out, they lose that opportunity, they lose the relevance. And the fear of the unknown, that what happens to me if I am pushed out of this place. That is why you see so many OAPs, they are silent about it, whereas they'll go on social media to say, oh no, Cynthia Monga, no, this, that, oh Mehdi, how could you have done that? They will say all sort of things about, because they own the microphone, they control the mass communication medium, media as it is, you know. So nobody gets to question whatever they do, even those who knows about, like, oh God, they never pay you for the last 6 months now. Have you dey mad me? You never collect your salary now. Wetin be your problem now? Why God they tell people like say your life better pass their own? Do you understand? And that is what I'm trying to say. That the same thing that artists suffers, artists not they suffer for Nigeria or suffer for Nigeria, reach OAPs. OAPs suffer this whole contract thing, and some of them would at the end of the day not even say anything. They just want to try to manage the situation because they don't want to offend their next employer. Why some of them, after the contract ends, they'll just go haywire and try to bring down the media house by saying all sorts of things about the media house. Whereas, not be the media house, they not rob you. They presented to you a contract. You signed it. You were okay with the contract. And after some time that you're not going to be okay again, there's nothing bad for everybody to just go gingerly. Do you understand it? Now, that will not take me to talk about the music industry. I'm privileged to have known, at least, I'm privileged to know some certain things about the promotion of music. And I can tell you that to promote music in Nigeria using OAPs is the most expensive thing that can happen to anybody. The most expensive thing that can happen to any record label. I know of record labels that have monthly budget on how much they have to pay different OAPs so that they'll put the music of their artists on replay. You know? So when you look at that, you now look at a record label spending tens of millions to promote different songs before eventually one song will come blow. So when that song blow, what happens next? Look, see how it works. In the entertainment cycle, OAPs, advertisers, media buyers, promoters, and everybody will jump on that artist because now the artist they reign. So everybody that wants to do one thing or the other that requires an artist, we say we need this artist. So OAPs and everybody, promoters, show promoters, organizers, event planners, and everybody, they jump on it. So even when the artist is supposed to get 1 naira, everybody go cut the money. At the end of the day, if it be 50 kobo or 1 kobo, we go reach the record label. So now imagine a record label wey don spend like 10 million over a period of 5 years, you know, to promote an artist before the artist can get relevance to, you know, be invited for major events, to say, oh, we'll pay you 1 million, 2 million, and all the rest. And eventually, at the end of the day, all the money not they reach the record label, because they still at least will take care of the artist and the rest. So now, where the problem will cause set in, the same way with OAPs, not forgetting now, is that at the beginning you are desperate for fame. You want this contract, you want to be known, you want your name to be on the lip of everybody. So you sign up to the contract, not minding whatever it is that comes your way. Then when you call the year, say, those people pay me 5 million, your memory go come fail you that time. You now forget suddenly that the record label has been spending so much to promote your songs, to even clothe you, and at times they go even buy car for you and give you house where you dey stay, they feed you. You suddenly forget all of those things, and now your eye go come dey, shebi this company pay 5 million that day now, this one pay. At the end of the day, that 5 million, you know, say we get show event planners, show promoters, because I don't want to call people name. I'm just saying, for example, now, if a big company reach out to me, tweet, oh, we want artists for this event and everything. In some cases, they fit get artists on mind wey they won't use, and in some other case, they fit not really get any artist. They just want anybody you recommend. So now look at the paper and say, okay, I recommend artist ABC for 10 million. I'll go to artist ABC and say, I'm paying you guys 5 million for this job. Now 10 million come for the job. I'm taking 5 million. I'm the promoter, right? Or the event planner or the organizer or everything. The one that got the contract for that particular event. So at the end of the day, those wey pay for the event, the word that will be out there is that they spent 10 million on these 3 artists. But the record label go know say na 5 million they get, right? So some of the artists go come start to the open and say, no, after all, this record label still won't make their money back. So impatience will come set in. They not feel wait anymore for the record label to make their money based on the agreement where they get to. So they'll call, they look for ways to they collect job for back. No worry, I'll just come, I'll say now support. Might give you 200,000. No worry, you'll give me 200,000 or give me 1 million. Instead of 3 million, we go the record label. They'll go for back, go perform some of these events and the rest. And at the end of the day, now very small industry, the record label go get to know. If now you don't spend that kind of huge money on someone, and at the end of the day, you get to know that this individual, they go behind you, go they collect some other money, I know they remit them. And even the contract state clearly that is not in that position to receive any fund on behalf of any performance that involves you. But you can't see where the problem will set in. Problem will definitely set in because the record label cannot take it anymore. And if they cannot settle amicably or go their separate ways, now they'll come involve legal battle. And guess what? Now the artist, now the fans, they know. Majority of fans not even know the record label where the artist belong to. You see? So if the whole matter won't reduce or the cost of promoting a song won't reduce, the first people will go reduce them now OAPs by playing music and not charging to play any song. Who will make that one happen? Do you understand? So that is where the whole problem starts from. And this same thing, OAPs, they face on too. Because some OAPs, they will like say, they'll sit down during their program. Let's say you run a 2 hours program and at the end of the month your 2 hours program fit dey generate, let's say between monthly now fit dey generate between 10 to 40 million for your radio station, and your salary as the OAP na 100,000. Do you know at the point you be angry, you can't take it anymore, you want to renegotiate, but you know wetin happen? Majority of these OAPs dem no even fit face their employers to renegotiate their contract, so they would rather continue to be silent, wait for payola, that is money wey music promoters dey pay to promote songs, and also wait for brands wey go come sponsor their program and get what we call presentation fee. So e dey make me dey feel bad when I see OAPs jump on things about contracts to say no, you shouldn't have accepted it, you shouldn't take that, that is slavery, whereas the same OAP na slave to im employer because e no dey get wetin dey due to am. Any OAP wey dey watch this now or wey go see this video later, they don't know wetin I dey talk about. So some of them sef not be say the money wey dem dey pay them small, they go owe them salary for months. Ask around media houses holding salaries, they go owe you, they no go pay. The OAP go still dey go work, dey borrow money for transport, then that same OAP go come open im mouth gboah, you can say this artist, why you sign that kind contract? Do you understand? That is my anger. Like, come on guys, why una no fit just dey true to yourself and stop deceiving people? Be honest as an OAP. That's why I dey always talk say if Nigeria go change, na the press go change Nigeria. Why I'm talking OAPs, na the same way dey happen for the print media. A lot of these reporters for print media, they don't get paid. You know, that is why they depend on brand envelope and the other things. They don't get paid. That is the big problem, guys. So when next you hear about some of these things, I know it's a problem that affects everyone in Nigeria, no matter the sector where you belong. But I'm just focusing on the industry where it really concerns me, because I'm really bothered and I feel bad most times when I see people talk about these things and say, oh, you OAP where they owe salary, you won't come dey advise one artist about the contract we sign about this, whereas your own contract you cannot even leave the radio station. Because number one, you know, the similarity is that, you know, an artist signed to a record label, depending on the contract, the artists do not have ownership or own the music at the end of the day. So the record label own the music, right? They own the song recorded by that artist. So the same thing for radio or television. If as a radio presenter you create a radio program that you are leaving that radio station depending on your contract, does not mean that you will live with that program you create. So you leave the radio station, but the program will remain, and other OAPs who will eventually be employed will continue with that program, right? But music, the record label just get time. Not me say if the record label sign another artist, they go come, they perform the song. So guys, I'm just saying this so that you don't be deceived when you hear OAPs, especially OAPs, radio presenters for Lagos. No, nah, they're not the honest, they are not truthful. Yeah, I not call names, so, but generally those wey dey listen or wey go watch this video later, they know what I'm talking about. So I'm just sharing this so that next time you want to take the advice of an OAP on contracts, yeah, it is not bad to take the advice, because pit wey person for enter, e no mean say you go just close your eye make other people enter that pit. But then what I'm saying is that when they just want to play these saints or the revolutionalists and these activists who will not accept nonsense or take nonsense or anything, I'm just letting you know they are in worse contracts, and majority of them are slaves to their employers. So we'll go for a quick break now, and when we come back, my daughter has something else to say. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Yeah.
Welcome to Funmilayo's house, and how are you today? My name is Funmilayo, and I wanted to wish you happy Children's Day, everyone. And I wanted to go to the beach, but I can't go to the beach because that if the coronavirus is out there, I have to stay indoors, so I won't get to the coronavirus. And always remember to use your soap and water and wash your hands, and also use your hand sanitizer.
All right, sorry guys. Something happened. My daughter is angry. She's not. She's supposed to be here, but she just left. She explained to me that she doesn't really want to do it. So yeah, I guess some other time. But this is where I want to draw the curtain today on 30 minutes with me, Tweety. So let's do this again tomorrow. But what I want us to take away from this is the fact that let's not be deceived. We are all humans. We make errors when it comes to contracts, getting employed. You're just desperate. In some cases, it's not be about desperation. It's about you don't really understand some of the things you're signing up to. So eventually, when we get to make this mistake, let's not be too quick to just accuse other people and call them names because they make these little mistakes and all of the rest. It's something all around. It's called business for a reason. Yeah? So let's just encourage one another and don't play the saints and become, oh, the old activist, the big guy, the one who will never fall for things like that. Most people who are always, where they always want to condemn things and all the rest, who are always opinionated, they always have opinion about everything, but even some of the things where they suffer from, they go still come out publicly and never admit to suffering from it, and they want to make you think that, oh, you are just in a pit, you are a fool, you are this, you shouldn't have done that. That is what I want you not to believe going forward. So my name is Tweety. Let's do this again tomorrow. I say happy Children's Day to everyone, and I want to tell you, do have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to Funmilayo's house, and how are you today? My name is Funmilayo, and I wanted to wish you happy Children's Day, everyone. And I wanted to go to the beach, but I can't go to the beach because that if the coronavirus is out there, I have to stay indoors, so I won't get to the coronavirus. And always remember to use your soap and water and wash your hands, and also use your hand sanitizer.